Welcome back at Rody, where we talk about relationships, obligation, well being, digestion, and your turn. Today, we are going to start with a bit of your personality. Because what I've seen too much now is the lack of aggression. This can cause that you will feel less confident in social situations because you might not handle the situation if some things go wrong. So, this will prevent you of taking action and taking risks. So let's talk about aggression because aggression is a negative thing in our society nowadays. But is it really something negative? Is it really something you should never do or something that you should never use? Is it always negative? And I think here the answer is no. Because if I look at history, if I look at the times before, aggression was a really normal thing. And the aggression that you can generate is also a survival mechanism. If you have to defend your property, your wife, or whatever what you value, you should be able to actually come up with this aggression if needed. So I do think it is necessary to develop this thing. So when the time comes, there is a crisis situation that you are able to defend to whatever it is what you're defending and what you love. And I think this part is also very attractive to, I talk about them from a man's perspective. For women, if you know your guy is able to defend you when times get tough and when times are, there might even be dangerous, then this is really necessary. And then the question, okay, I know I need aggression, let's say we agree on that. So where can you find this aggression, and where is it proper to develop this aggression? Because if you just get aggressive all the time in society, that's of course not gonna work. Then you will be in jail. But the thing is, okay, I think the answer here is something in the middle, because I think there are aggressive people on this earth, and that is also not the way. Because these people get in trouble. That most of the time they have trouble in their jobs because they're very disagreeable. But then where should you be aggressive? I do think a sport is a good way to develop aggression, and this can also be developed in the gym, where you put a little bit of emotion into your weights. You know what I mean? Have you ever tried this? If you ever go to a leg press or a bench press or whatever what it is, where there are heavy weights, and then try to get a bit aggressive. Put some music on, put some metal, maybe if you use metal, maybe it's house, but whatever makes you angry, whatever what it is, but try to put this emotion into your training. And you will see that you will gain actually power. You will gain actually more strength. Because this is the survival mechanism. Let's say you get attacked, and let's take this example of the girl. But you really have to defend for your life. How do you think you're gonna fight? And I'm gonna tell you here a personal story. So where I have seen this aggression and where it got me thinking. So you're gonna fight. And I'm gonna tell you here a personal story. So where I have seen this aggression and where it got me thinking. So all the way back to primary school, I was, I think, 10 years old. I was 10 years old, and there was this guy who, I'm not going to tell his name because he might be listening in the end, but he was a Turkish guy, and he was always last at the gym class. So what I mean by last, people would never pick him in the team, or people would bully him. But he was a bit fat, and he was heavy on weight, and he was not very attractive to women. But the thing was, he was, most of the time he was very quiet and very soft, and all these things. But sometimes people would go too far. And what happened was that he would get very aggressive. And it was very interesting because he was always be seen as the guy who was weak. He was not being able to do sports. He couldn't run. And at some point, he just flipped. He had black in front of his eyes, and he just got mad. And that's where I saw it. And he got mad, and he just hit two guys who were bullying him. He hit them down on the ground, and he actually won the fight. He runs so fast that he was able to catch one of the guys who was normally quite fast when we are having classes. And I was so flabbergasted from this. I was like, can this kid like run so fast and is from one to the other moment so powerful? But it was basically his survival instinct which came up, and then he was able to actually knock those guys out. And the ironic thing was, after that incident, they never bullied him again. Of course, he had to like stay after class, and he had to talk to the teachers, and he was in all kinds of trouble. But he solved the issue. And sometimes, you need this aggression to make your life better. And I think that's that's part of the story. I think in the end, you can argue, if hitting somebody is a good or a bad thing, but he was really in a bad place, and because of his aggression here, he got out of it. He actually nobody ever tortured him again because people just got scared. But he might do what he is capable of, and this is interesting because this is what Jung. He is an old psychologist, and also Jordan Peterson refers to him a lot. He called this the shadow, and this was the first time in my life when I saw this. And at that time, I had no clue what it was, but now I realize what it was. And this part of him, I think all men should develop this. And it's not that hitting people is the good thing, but you should be able to do it. And that's the most important thing of this story. Because when we go out with guys, and for some of you who don't know me, I take people out of their comfort zone, and I'm improving their lives on relationship levels, so with women, or with obligation with their work, so they take steps in their careers, they take risks with their well-being, with their finances, and digestion in the gym. In your turn, we educating people. But let's start with the first one. When we talk about relationships, and relationships is most of the time is in a club, or when people are going into dating, it would be different. But why do you need aggression in relationships? That will be the question. And it is ironic because aggression is also an action taking pattern. So when you're aggressive, you attack, right? You attack the thing that is in front of you. But what is the opposite then of aggression? It is passiveness. So let's take the 10-year-old guy. He can act in two ways, right? Actually three, but we'll talk about the third thing later. The second thing is passiveness. So he gets bullied, and he gets bullied, and what can he do? He can be aggressive, he can be passive, or he can be assertive. And assertiveness is not what we're going to talk about today, but just we want to talk about the extremes today, where aggression and passiveness will come to the topic. But the passiveness is actually what is sometimes holding you back from having the good life. And when we are in a club, for men, because I talk for men in this case, the men have to do the action. And sometimes, of course, women get to men, and I get that. And of course, there are situations when it's not the case, right? But most of the time, and also girls like it when men are actually taking the action. But let's say we're in our club, and there is this woman, there is this girl who you found amazing, and she might be actually your wife in the future. And when you don't take this action, when you don't walk up to her and you don't show your aggressive action taking behavior, then you might miss out. You actually let yourself bullied by life. And sometimes life is bullying you to let you to trigger this aggressiveness, to take action, to actually go up there, to actually apply, to actually take a risk with investing, to actually go to the gym, to actually invest in an education. Because sometimes things have to be so bad that you're in a position where you cannot take it anymore, where you have to take action, where there is no other choice. And that is most of the time where great things happen. That is where the best decisions are made. But you have to see that you're in a bad position, that you are getting bullied. And when you see you're getting bullied, then show this aggressive behavior and just take this action and just knock this thing out. Not the girl, of course, but hopefully you get the point here. And then good things happen. Good things will come to you when you take action towards what you actually want. And when you take the risk, because aggressive action taking is risky. Yes, I get that. I get that it is scary, that there are, yeah, that could also mean that you come in bad situations, because aggressiveness is risky, because you can also run into another aggressive person, which gets you in trouble. So let's say we come up with some problems, right, which you can run into. If you decide, okay, I'm an action taker, I'm gonna do this, and then what happens? You meet another aggressive person, because he also gets what he wants. So let's say come up to the girl, right? Come up to the girl, and she has a boyfriend. She actually has a boyfriend. Okay, this is the worst thing that can happen, because now you took the risk and you don't get the reward. Or the guy actually is also aggressive. So he says, "Yo kid, go away," or "Yeah, go away, man. This is my woman." So he protects what he loves. So what do you do? What do you do? You go on. You just go on. So sometimes not everything is for you, and just take that. Just take. If something is not for you, then it's something is not for you. But then at least you developed this attitude of getting better, giving yourself a chance to have a better life. And I think this part is so important, because I think life is all about chance and maybe a bit of luck, but you cannot get lucky if you don't take the shot. If you don't shoot, you don't hit, and you cannot hit everything, man. And that's also, yeah. I mean, if you would hit everything, believe me, you don't even like it. You don't even like that you hit everything, because you get used to it. You don't appreciate the reward when you get always the reward. You don't like candy when you always eat it. You don't like that pizza when you always eat it. So you learn to appreciate the rewards and the prices when you worked hard for it, when you tried, when you sweat, when you cried, when you even went to pain in the gym, when you made some bad investment and then you had a great one, when you spoke to 5 girls and the sixth one you actually had success, when you applied 4 times and the fifth time you got hired. That is why you appreciate it so much. That's why it makes you so happy when it actually goes your way. And I just say, you just keep on trying, man. Just keep on trying. And you appreciate so much more. We had one guy, he applied for a bank with no education. I think it was 10 times. He tried 10 different jobs, and eventually he got the job at the bank, and now he's doing very well money-wise. I think that's a great story. But he is also very determined, in his job now, because he is like, I worked hard for this, so, I'm gonna protect it, and I'm gonna act well in this. But if everything is given to you, man, you also will treat it shit. And when you've worked hard for it, you will be so happy. Okay, hopefully this story came through to you. And this was Rody with the first podcast. Leave some comments down below, and just share some stories maybe with where you can find yourself in this story, and We will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.